Hi YouTube. Apologies in advance. There's no way I'm going to keep this short. Silver Guy left a message on my channel last night. He wanted me to kind of address this tempest in a teapot we have going on lately. The kind of collectors versus flippers versus stackers thing that's happening. The linchpin seems to have been the Zombux proofs that Provident just came out with. So I'll address all that. So one of the things that has kind of always fascinated me about the silver community since I've been watching it is how they'll eat their own. Boy, there's a lot of friendly fire in the silver community. You know, I'll say this: some of my most vicious attacks have been from people in the silver community, like-minded individuals. You know, you kind of expect it from the stock guys that kind of thumb their nose at alternative investments. But from within our own team, always strikes me as a little bit odd. You know, people dig their heels in, and they feel as though there's only one way to do it. And that's the great thing about silver is there are so many different ways to do it. People buy silver for so many different reasons, right? Whether it's just a hedge against inflation, whether it's just as an investment, whether it's to prep, whether it's as a collector. Okay, some people just appreciate the beauty of it. Some people like to wear it. Some people like to just buy a monster box, never open it, and stick it in the safe. All kinds of different ways to do it. And there are many, many different ways where it can be profitable for you. Many. That's why whenever somebody basically just looks at the spot price and they want to say, you're way down on your investment and everything else, I just kind of want to laugh. It's just not true. And I'll show you exactly why that is. There's a parallel that it reminds me of. You know, I'm a big Red Sox fan. And it's kind of a rite of passage up here. And throughout the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, they were either tantalizingly close to winning it all, or they were terrible. There's no in between. It was like there's no just average teams. They're either really bad or really good, but they never won it. And you could literally buy a ticket on game day and just walk right in, and for a fairly cheap price, and the stadium was half empty. Fenway Park was half empty, and that seems funny today because it's packed every night now. And a lot of people that watched them through the 70s, 80s, and 90s were always wondering, you know, why aren't the fans here? Why aren't they packing the stadium? This is so great. It's great to watch this team. Why aren't more people filling Fenway Park? And they asked that question, and around the mid-2000s, their question was answered. The team became very successful, and Fenway Park was packed to the rafters every night and rocking. And suddenly they didn't like all these new people coming in. Wait a minute, they're not true fans. They're not keeping score in their seats. They're singing Sweet Caroline in the 8th inning. They're doing the wave. That's not what real fans do. I want to go back now. I actually have read people say they want the team to suck again so that they can go back to a half-empty stadium, so they can go back to the old quiet ways. Just like it was kind of interesting. I actually read somebody on my on one of my videos say, "I'd like for silver to go back to the way it was and just flatline, and we get rid of all this stuff." Wow. I mean, I kind of shook my head and scratched my head on that one. So get rid of all the opportunities to make profits and everything else. We're just going to do that? Okay. Just as with silver, you know, there's a lot of people that were holding this going, why aren't more people discovering silver? It's so cheap. Where are they? Why is it just me that feels this way? And then people came along, and then it's, you know, then you start, well, wait a minute, they're doing it different. This is awful. This is not, no, there's only one way to do it, my way. You can't, no, this Perth Mint stuff, no, that's not silver. No, that's premium stuff. No, you don't do that. I mean, it's funny how you bring in this new breed of buyer that looks at it a little bit differently than you do and likes things a little bit differently than you do. But there's one common thread, right? The silver. But you want to sharpen your knives and you want to attack them for doing it a little bit differently. I personally love seeing new people come in with fresh ideas. Maybe somebody will show me an even better way to make money with it. That's what I always hope. Show me a better way. Keep an open mind. I don't know when it happened exactly, but collector became a dirty word. And the funny thing is, collecting has been around forever. It doesn't make you any less knowledgeable because you're collecting silver. It doesn't make you any less passionate. It may make you more passionate. You know, coin collecting has been around since the very first time somebody saw a different coin and said, oh, I want that one too. Numismatics has been around the first time somebody said, oh, I want that one too, and I'm willing to pay more for it. You know, it goes all the way back to ancient Greece and Mesopotamia. I mean, people have been hoarding bullion forever, but people have been coin collecting for almost as long. Today, it's more bullion collecting. It's kind of made its way into the fabric. And that's okay. I like when people come on to my channel if I'm showing like Perth Mint stuff and they'll say, you're more of a collector, so therefore anything you say is invalidated. Okay. Let me show you why I do what I do with some pesky data. Oh, that pesky data. You know, you never want to really see the hard facts, do you? So when I started buying silver, I started out with Eagles, right? I bought a ton of Eagles. I bought a bunch of 90% silver. That was the base of my stack. And then I discovered Perth Mint silver. and other beautiful pieces too. But let's just focus on the Perth Mint here. And I bought some. I was like, hey, you know, let's go back and get some. Let me look into buying some of the years. And I was shocked at how expensive it was. It's like, wow, I'm only going back 2 years here. And what it told me was there's opportunity there. Okay? There is opportunity there. And I know it's not for everybody. And that's okay. I just see an opportunity there. And I figure if I were to just play it straight and, you know, and reach my end goal with silver and just buy Eagles, it'd be a lot more difficult for me to get there than if I flipped some of my stack as I went and bought more silver with the proceeds and gold. To have my stack work with me. That's just the strategy that I employ. I see a market there. So right now I went to APMEX and a 2-ounce lunar horse is $53.36. 2 American Eagles is $51.14 for a delta of $2.22 or $1.11 per ounce. All these people saying high premium and everything else, I'm paying $1.11 more an ounce. So let me ask you this, in all seriousness. Let's fast forward a couple of years. What do you think will have more value, okay, to somebody that, or let me put it this way. Everybody's going to mince my words, or tear apart my words here. What do you think I could sell for more? 2 Eagles or a 2-ounce lunar coin? Okay, I'm basically betting $1.11 an ounce that people will pay up for the 2-ounce lunar coin, mintage of approximately 120,000 versus 40 million. Design change every year, no design change. Okay, that's all. On November 13th, I uploaded a video. APMEX was clearing out their 2-ounce lunar snake inventory. My buy price on that was $50.70. Right now on APMEX, it's selling for $70.36. On eBay, approximately $65. It's after 2 months. 2-ounce Lunar Dragon, selling for $80 on eBay. 2-ounce Lunar Rabbit, $85 on eBay. I have zero doubt in my mind that this price will drift up to here in the next couple of years. Oh, by the way, silver has been dead flat this entire time. Has barely budged. And yet the premium on those coins has risen. After taking out eBay fees and everything, my 2-month return on investment is about 20%. That's after 2 months. Plus, I use the a Discover credit card sign-up bonus to knock it down even further, but let's just play it straight. I know a lot of you don't really want to think about it in that way. My 2-month return on investment is 20%. I could take those proceeds and go out and get more silver with it. That is why I do what I do. It doesn't necessarily, it's okay to say that I'm a collector too. I basically have a little bit of a hybrid strategy, if you will, and I'm okay with that. I'm after a return on investment. I do have it as an insurance policy. I do have it as as part of a well-diversified portfolio. I got it all. That is why I do what I do. Doesn't work for everyone. Some people want to just sell to their local coin shop. I think that's a horrendous mistake, but some people love the ease of it. Some people don't want to be bothered selling it on eBay or YouTube or any kind of peer-to-peer network or on Don Harold's PidBid. Okay? Personally, I'm not afraid of any of that. I'll do the extra work to get that return on investment. The strategy doesn't work for everyone, but this is what I'm doing. Zombucks. So it cracks me up how people are slamming Zombucks as if they're defiling silver. Okay. Meanwhile, they're simply a cheap generic round, okay, with a zombie theme, and zombies are hot. One person said, well, in 50 years, nobody's going to know what that is. I mean, I'm like, do you think before you type 50 years? Really? That's what we're buying silver for 50 years from now? I mean, obviously he's right, but I mean, come on. It's a cheap generic round. It's funny, I find it ironic, all the people that slam me for buying premium silver, then you buy some stuff that's really cheap, and then they slam me for that, because it's a novelty round. And they're waxing poetic about the days of Engelhard poured loaves, which are beautiful, no doubt about it. But you know what? Those days that you're waxing poetic for, tell you what, you think zombies are defiling silver? They stamped every crap design they could think of onto silver art bars. There are the most hideous, ridiculous silver art bars known to man, and they banged those out like nothing in the 70s. I mean, they were everywhere, okay? And that didn't ruin silver. Well, this high premium stuff. Well, you know what? The Franklin Mint was really pumping out the high premium stuff in the 70s too, and the 80s. Okay, this isn't new. Guess what? 30 years from now, there's going to be still a silver market. And there'll be people that just got into it today that will be complaining because who knows, maybe they'll be triangle shaped or octagon shaped, and back when I bought it, it was round, and we had the Lunar Series, not this newfangled, insert whatever here. The, hey, you kids get off my lawn moments have been going on forever. Okay? People do it differently. Each generation has a different way of approaching it. In some cases, it's a simple gateway into it, and then maybe they'll discover your way. Or maybe your viewpoint is outdated. Who knows? The Zombucks proofs. People are beyond upset. I mean, and I'm not talking about just YouTube. I'm talking about Kitco, and it's amazing how angry people are about this. So, first of all, it's a bit of a straw man, okay? Because I haven't seen anybody even say they're going to buy them yet. They're too expensive. Yeah, they overpriced them. But it's not like I saw people lining up to buy them. If they price them too high, guess what's going to happen? They're not going to sell, and the price is going to have to come down. That's the way the market works. Okay? If they found the right price point and a lot of collectors want to buy these things, then they'll buy them. It's not ruining the Zombuck series. Yes, you know what? Here's what I think happened. This is just my take on it. They basically had internal discussions on a new round design. Let's do one based on zombies. And they were pretty excited about it. They had no idea how successful it would be. And they didn't want to commit too much at the very beginning, because what if you put all this money into it and it's a flop? So they started seeing some outstanding results right away. They've sold 100,000 of these things between the two designs. Okay? So basically in 6 months' time, they sold 100,000 ounces of silver. And that far exceeded probably their internal projections. I'm guessing here. So what else can we do? Well, let's start adding something to it. Let's do proofs. People like proofs. Well, they wouldn't be the first business to overreach on a successful product. Okay? And they may be overplaying their hand here. But if you think it ruined what they've already done, I just went over to eBay. These things are selling for $40, guys. The Walker is selling for $40. So to think that it was a huge mistake to buy this for $20 when you can now sell it for $40, I don't know. I don't see the mistake there. You know, one of the people in our community, I don't know how you pronounce his name. I say Weezenall. Left me a message that he sold a roll of it on eBay for $750. This is something he paid $400 for just 6 months ago. That's a pretty darn good return on investment. I just don't get worked up about this stuff. You know, I just I don't know. There's too much in the world to worry about, and not worry about Provident Metals producing an overpriced coin or round. That just doesn't upset me that much. And, you know, I wish them well because I want to see Provident Metals do well. They're basically almost always the low-cost leader. And you know what? If developing an in-house product that's successful helps them lower their prices even more because they're doing well, I'm all for that. We all benefit. You know, these people basically wishing death to Provident and hope their business goes down, you know, because they had the gall to make these proofs. Well, I mean, be careful what you wish for, because you may be paying more for your silver in the future. I mean, that's just my take on it. I know that this is a ridiculously long video. I'm just shocked at how you know, people are reacting to this stuff lately, and I guess every now and then things come to a head, and this was it. So, all right. So for those of you who stuck with me for 19 minutes, thanks.